Good morning, Ghana. Ethiopia. Nisama Bia Kwabaka Siepa Eba Best Entertainment Show Jumadia is on OK 101.7 FM.
OK FM.
Medin the Halifax and San Addo. Medi Jumanu Chiame. Na DJ Toxic na Obonyo Mamami every Wednesday. And see all the new way say so no. And I make charm in Nancy Kakra 1 2 B. And who yanti obi ya stremi. She was like, Halifax, win kwan over to me. She doesn't know me, eh? Me Riasia 2 things I'm very good in ABR 3. Football defender position. Na asanso me ya de ban enu de gise me twa to what. It's a midweek edition. Today anyway.
Very confident, you never work.
Auntie, I see all of you watching live on Facebook.
Money on her own.
Nathaniel Amwakomeno says you are AK Ebri watching you live from Tabora Best Entertainment. Always the best. Thanks, Nathaniel. Lestowell Kodia Joe says good morning, Halifax. I'm watching you live from Antwa Adesina. Okay. And I'm enjoying your show as well. Thanks and greetings to everybody in Antwa. Greetings to my lovely mom, Mrs. Regina Apia. Okay. At the Adesina SDA Church. Mami Reggie. Auntie Regina Uba Listowell Kodia Georgia C and Chiao Manuai. Good morning to you to Gideos Don.
Okay, one.
Elizabeth Gazy, I see you. Good morning. Emmanuel Osejan, good morning to you too. Ajing! Ayaya. Edim. You do all from Dick Law Dixon. Dick Law Dixon. Dick. Hello, any suru. Take it easy, uncle. Pause here for me. Let me remind you, say this way chocolate drink is the food of the season. It is easy to prepare. Dear we here, yeah, and so she. Now this way I can assembly. It is creamy, nutritious, and good, and has less fats. And you know, this way I no more. One of the things this way does so many is that say me no any social sana I clear me throat nina. That is for me, Halifax, personally. I think it is just because it is hot. I like taking it very hot. So enjoy the best of breakfast always with this sweet chocolate drink. Your breakfast will go gay with this sweet chocolate drink. This way is creamy and nutritious and good. And of course it has less fat. Inti enopai small bin uncle Valco store. Ana mamia lata store no. Ana ya dromo store. I can buy this way chocolate drink. Man into sachet balcon. On top 4-1. I mean, if you go on Facebook Live, cancel la loot rots. I mean, Oyasa brutal. And he's dancing on point, on key. He's dancing to the rhythm.
You could be my lady if you see my baby. Hey, Dana Samoy. My body, I'm a pro.
Na councillor, what's our way? Nedin the same.
So much.
Your friend Asano so more is so.
Asano I dead.
Na and kake so this is somewhere so how do you respond?
Somewhere. Olele. Somewhere so olele.
Okay.
Somewhere so more nandi. Somewhere so more hemi. Somewhere say dre ajaman. Saneba.
You see my baby.
Hey, girl, I'm saying. Hey.
So scared.
With your host Halifax and Addo on OK 101.7.
My brother so grateful Mawakwaba.
Yeah.
Yes.
We no boy, you know. See, my friend say. And your boy earlier, no. Big tune and I said
Jingle no.
Why the boy?
Enra. Me wo ho na some of them Kwame does it. Yeah, Kwame does it.
Yeah.
Or the same day.
Yeah, unya fin for no.
When you say onya fin for no team Kwame.
Unya fin for no team.
Onya fin say any new style, you know. When them saw a head of entertainment or city.
And one they affecting no.
Kwame does it send me say onwa ni baba ko.
Oh, okay.
Ye mame into menhwe say me pe ana. When I see Kwame. So okay Kwame Kansani. Akrachi bia oba so oba be ye promo. And can say on bar for 10 minutes. So I don't know your guest number. And no ye ni nyina for Kwame Kansani. If you call, I go call you pepe. You dog, I go dog you pepe.
Okay.
Your name Clemento Suarez.
Yeah.
I'll say Kwame Kansani ye mami.
Oh, okay.
And see, I thank Kwame Kansa and what prepare no me. I
like it. The voice, the voice is good, and you know say I like the rhythm too.
Okay.
And it's so on point. Honestly, me I was like and you just say no one kasa na say there.
On one song record he was a sound engineer, producer, singer, Bosco. Sorry, Toxic. My embo bium just for the sake of Socrates na analyze it here.
Mr. Halifax at Nasio. DJ dia munsimba. Para nya di bremo. Okay, 101.7. Jordan no pardon. Fatuaya. Jordan no pardon. Fatuaya. Jordan no pansuka wo. Anywhere video cover bia. The best entertainment show. Jordan no pepia. Best entertainment show. Because here we are pram to bro. Best entertainment show. Best entertainment show. Tiebina uno da. The best entertainment show on OKFM 101.7. Kwame Kansa, Mr. Halifax. Say
So for that is it. A gift from Kwame Kansani, a 1 minute jingle, one Jimmy Capre, see Odechemi. Na ono se the support to show no.
That's good. Wow.
Enti repem no metun san friend of you na ombra na embon komo.
Oh, okay.
Many aji ho. Mepe.
Ya ni nkodi fufu
Oh, Kwame Kansa see was shoot a video for Pepe music no. Enti anka promo na ehia no. Na enye fufu na ope promo. Enye the Spice Media pay and in all of that media also. So listen, if you are a fan of this show, if you support what I do, one of the persons supporting me on the Kwame Kansani nti Mr. Odoa mo mami, Odoa mo ma show no, Odoa mo ma OKFM no, mo fasa Odona antai Kwame Kansani echi na oya ye nua kitwa and he's part of us. There's a young talented musician. In case untie ni nyumda, I believe DJ Bosco is ready to take it from the top. This is a brand new one from Kwame Kansa. I don't know yet me new jingle no, but this is the song he's pushing down. Listen to it, then I start my show.
Yeah, Kwame Kansa
Yeah, cause I had a young boo. Who feel me rap, not see a I.
So you be my friend, you know they chat me. every day. Unless I chat you, you dey watch my status every day. You dey see my posts, you know they like them. Why I want so we busy body? Just say me na debi ame, ya want to share. Ayo, my phone book make full. I dey come delete some contacts. Until if you know they make any impact for my life, yeah, I go delete you. I no go force myself on people. This time if you talk me, me too I go dog. Charlie, this time if you call, I go call you. Pep pep pep. You flash, I go flash you. Pep pep pep. Show body, I go show you. Pep pep pep. You dog, I go dog you. Pep pep pep. If you test, I go test you. Pep pep pep. Love me, I go love you. Pep pep pep. Show body, I go show you. Pep pep pep. Hate me, I go hate you. Pep pep pep.
Who a star, me a club, who a cash me up dog, who a bingo, me so me was stormy. The two bed dog give me R.I.P. low key, a dear wokra, who no beer, pussy me no beer, obia no beer, the other ain't the beer, who flex to the cheer. May you water the crank, come and make a share. What I show me status, so down now, te fine, come show with the come in and the pete. We a catavre, metro, send me a question. No man, what is a yes with the master Peter, no, never gave you a message for me. And you're flocking, good, your jam, we are more than brothers. Now, so I never friend me, I'm in Charlie, this time if you call, I go call you. Pep pep pep. You flash, I go flash you. Pep pep pep. Show body, I go show you. Pep pep pep. You dog, I go dog you. Pep pep pep. If you test, I go test you. Pep pep pep. Love me, I go love you. Pep pep pep. Show body, I go show you. Pep pep pep. Hate me, I go hate you. Pep pep pep. If I call you, not the border. I no call you, not the border. Me test message, uni baller. Why you dey do that, my brother? I go test, you no reply. Blue ticks every day. And they come, you no go come.
Halifax,
I go call, you no go call. It be like say, me make a call every day. It be like say, me make a test every day. It be like say, me make a visit every day. But if you see something for my status, you send me brabefa.
Moise say brand one a champion. Oh flame me and I miss my flame. Oh post TV and me post you. Oh like me and my like. Oh ba me fear me show about fear. Hey mo who be try dia me me try. Oh je me ga me je okay. Oh na na one kind me. Me so me area for the back on and you are me kind level.
Coming guns and yeah. It's time.
Okay, so that is it from Kwame Kansa featuring Clemento Suarez. Song produced by Addo. I beg, sanitize the console before you vacate from Bernard. But Bernard, my sanitize the console. No, in fact, sanitize and the cry is already on.
Okay, FM. Wants you.
And then I have mine, David Mensah. Big man, this your dancing moves for the chair inside here. Obia one day with the other. Obia say, Masney, Anka Arnold Pomfaneho. Halifax, please stop dancing. That is from Baba Maiga. Ajua Bisiwa. This Councillor Lutro's dance is not entirely true. Well, Halifax, look, have a message from me, blah 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 blah. Remember your address to Mr. L. Okay, so it's simple. Last Monday, show you na breaking news by say a court has ordered that our own brother Faniface Omonfanoko Psychiatric Hospital for 2 weeks. And said I never be because many people like Lutro, Tino Makana can say he's showing signs of depression. And see, and Makwa Coaching Counselor Ababium. Yababe Sunyadie. And Sheda Nya Sema Yababe Kandia G and Nayan Siri. No. Today is more educative and informative. Then cry na depression way. I mean, well, it tells you that depression is basically a feeling of severe despondency and dejection. In the Brofokasa, this feeling of severe despondency and dejection. Try say, with spirits, you're low. trust our spirit about low when ninji who feel say obi mpewa same and niema bi nkoye se me twa no to far to say who call I mean how do I say it who yiraw ahun ya bi something is definitely wrong with you. So I asked myself, the entire me free counselor no say adi ye entertainers no and na ye mamusiri ye na ye di eniji brem ye na ye mamu eniji ebeba no say na ye di eniji brem no ye mom ye ni eniji to understand say ye be called depression mo. Am I making sense to you? Because me ntia see dokunu rabia ni ho a obeka tell say wa short dokunu wo fie ana so for bia ni obeka tell say me ni bible wo fie. I mean you cannot lack what you give. There would the man and can you say ehun hia wo but enye funny face pe enche ye bia na ya ye nua Miss V oba out oba bon se be kan tell bia say no so sa ahun ni han yira ni depression na ofe bi mu afi mienu o si ya ye nua efia a window na ebo ano efia kriya akoto gospel si twen nya me boy bonzami. Her colleague musician Miss V called depression. Miss V si efia kriya na ebo ano when the other musicians so called people who are closer to God are watching. Enyo mo pe na me share a delay show. Big ups to you, Dolores performance. We be aware na pebia na we delay macro no ekosen. And I heard Papi Kojo saying it loud and clear. Say ononso na oko depression mo, and that it was so severe. Several other musicians. I was reading around. There is a lady from South Africa called Brenda Fassie Vuli. She's dead. Almost what kind of life story? No called depression. What is happening? What is wrong? Then is a depression. Then cause. Say estatia. What is the solution? When you den, when you so for kasa, and now when we done for being komo, and now you should talk to your mother. Are there experts we can talk to? Ayeka. Kakra ebe counselor.
Bema
enunti na matun sa frɛ we na no pay you.
Me da se watun sa afrɛ me. Unsan so ye short ba edu mi so.
Me da so say at least when your time dey aba.
Me da se Halifax.
And counselor say what hear me intro no.
Matepa
Depression among celebrities, entertainers, is it real?
Presidents, MPs, pastors. So don't limit it to celebrities alone.
Well, maybe because I had a field, no. But
when you know is celebrated, His Excellency the President of the Republic can easily be depressed after nominating people to go for vetting. You are waiting to see what will be the outcome, because you need them to work with them. We have MPs who have really spent money to make sure that they are going back to Parliament. They didn't get it. They can be depressed. We have people like Socrates, who have solely given their life for a particular party, like MPP, defended them in all entertainment review shows, and they come back and they are not involved. They can be depressed. We have serious people who are even on radio, like yourself, who are hosting mid-morning. They come and all of a sudden a phone call come and say, we don't need you over corner
COVID
off kakra. Pablo show no. I mean it happens. So
depression over.
Thank you. So and there are people who are on morning show instead of them to be on mid-morning show. The guy there was nowhere. They just called them to sit in. And one of the painful thing with celebrities and those of us in the public space, TV makes you more depressed than radio. Even now, formally, that is what I thought. But I've come back to believe that.
Na I say one kind so say hi okay. Now the tune. But who can say what TV so? Oh, a boy now when you depression. Really?
Nanka sanity, but see social media ntino. Ye nyina ye more depressed. Uru dey tell me kasado. TV so no. What na so great you
I mean his voice is going live. I decided just to ignore him this time around.
Yeah, they can politicians and if you have my bread. So You know, money bad yake. Most of the times I was showing here TV. 1, 2, going, smile. Then the talk back is in your ear. Ready to smile, oh? Not ready to smile, oh? Whatever mood you are in, they are switching you to another angle to smile. Action, then you smile. And the people watching from the house, when they open the phone lights, Halifax, you're too good. I like the way you speak. I like the dress you are wearing. But you sitting down there, you were coerced to get into that duress mood. So the public will always know who are. Say, son, I will see, son, I will smiling, son, I will casano. Baby, I bet you of your Halifax, son out here. What you give us here? Eti, life now, you're not casano TV so. But it's a social media. There are many Abayo Bako Kasa. One of our anchors in news. How many didn't come? And our baby radio. And you're polishing him. And I'm saying, hey, I say, hey. See, I dare you say, Uko radio so ground to cost to say first. Sana, you should be a decono. If you say, Nipa, your beer lines now, do a Facebook, the veteran. So is that how your face is? So, as the act of depression, the definition you read. The awo kan ya wo see depression no enye ntro no kre nanso de sunsun ye ewo mu ne say the simplest way of defining it emma the lay person to understand no anger turned upside down.
Anger turned upside down.
Ebufo aba ahye wo so a wadani ni tiesi wadani ni tiase. Esan say wonni akwanya bi a obefa so ayi abufo na pie
na councilor wo kanu say be hedin say be tias abufo no e won 9 na esan what tie be dan ne tias na ne 9 cost row na I mean anger is anger before your abufo I the abufo no was part of the body ni size ni up ni down
abufo nya abufo levels
really
emotional adrenaline level adane ne ho but yesua dia ye wo 5 temperament and in each of the temperament there are senses, and in each of the temperament, your weakness and your strength. And your temperament be oha, nibu funche. Your temperament be oha, oh you nibu foni nchira, nasu nibu afu. And now within the temperament, and say your tribal temperamental behaviors. So interpersonal development of a nipa that say ni ankasano. Yahu nyamane doso, and your environmental effect on anger. Halifax, you were born to be cinema. Ubufua reaction is different from born to be attention.
Sir.
Oh yeah.
The internet is sir.
Environmental management. Obu all the bufu. Oti baby to say. If I say it's legal cantonment. I mean a confined house. Now ubufua. I'm sure you have 4 years. Go and sleep. Watch TV. Water a garden. What must
I say? Won't koda.
Do an activity.
And I koshe TV.
Koshe TV.
Go and read a book.
Go read a book.
Drink water. Okay. Na ya compound house go a papa labadi nso ebufu enu se omo den.
Choco Avenue.
Den he osire. Yensu ebufu ade no mo gaje. Ana higher kwa wa.
I just imagine you be a public toilet and see ebufu a. Go to the washroom.
Okay. It's your one easily gone. Baby, I suffer munyi one.
No serious no. Your management of anger is different. What was it? Obu adibu fu akabro fo. Onte the okado.
For the records. Transfer to me so.
Said I.
Menyi will easily go.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Dem now go di agro. So adam for.
There be me near.
We are go gender.
I can't look over him. I mean, so me about the okay no crepa say depending on the area you live in.
Yes, environmental effects on your anger management.
Me bacho, is it identity be basa because we can say it depends on what for ni omo mutietiu.
Thank you.
Nti bia say we fie wo Probably say Choco and Jamestown and Papa and Mamu Bimpo. Say what no ye or more mutiate with differently.
Edini ye
Mamu. I say a friend of
Mamu.
Mats.
Abako Semne say yes, Sino. Now you were 2 different areas. Say Abeka. What's the piece of Oka piece of let me for piece of example now. What's the piece of junction? Your piece of junction will be a piece of but the station is here. enti ye ka se mamomo a ekuro dada bena ka ji mamomo ekuro dada. And then Nima came. So Nima man. So when the people started living in Nima, when you ask them, they are going down boya. Me ya mamomo bi aje. It was not mamobi, it's mamomo bi.
Yo, Lutrot. Yes,
so oye mokona chosile mamomo kaje Nima aje. The challenge is that if you raise your children in an environment where everything bibia kosomo omo bufu a e wo so no motie. The ono see raising wa bonten the bufu e wo so no tie. So no ni bufu odi pie. We dey no fan pie ba bonten. Enti nipa sa no o start so oni within your life already no be pie na or obi oni ni na with the same age. Halifax edi 40. Misume di 40. But ye nyina ye raise ye were different areas. Me bufu a baby ye raise meeting there's a way I behave. Wo so bufu a there's a way you behave. Enti nipa da se nankasa anger management is dependent on your environmental issues, your temperament issues, your upbringing and your interpersonal intellectual abilities. Meet kan wotwi but sana wo tebia etie. Ebufu yes ni tiase no. Sa na etie. Halifax, you tise nkrofo bitimi ka che ekunu se unu yire ti ona obufu a fa shirt na pie. I hate people saying that. When there's misunderstanding, just leave the house. There was a young man, the yere in the bar plastics, ewo kolebu. The bar and say, Obani yere shene bufu sa, o pie no, Obani si ompene no. And Obani lock you omo die no. Cheme ho. O lock it dan no di kini shene nufu ase. Oni ne pre ho, pa, opra no. Naso. Obano ye sa ye chi bema ne ye de be nyina apologies aba but be see ene etwa na e wo ba no ho nti no it keeps on reminding her of what really happened and the man was told say ubufu a fa shirt na pie and ubufu na wa nya kwan pie a what happens to you. So when we say depression turn upside down, it is when you are angry and you don't know the modalities of expressing the anger. That's all I was trying to attend. I'm saying you're done in it.
Okay.
I say I didn't see. Unim kwa abefaso. Obi ho radio so no betena o kwa e kana adwen. Na empanifo yi na fi radio so. O kana adwen akire wan wan. Ohia e manipa kasa sesa. Sika so manipa kasa sesa. Obi tun fo ohia ho kan kwasi asem. Na onye sika ni bia na video so se be kasa kwasi asem na akire no. Enti Halifax a body depression yeah anger turn upside down yes na the depression is your mental disorder I can go mental health chapter no more depression can mental disorders no and yes characterized by mood swings, genetic and biological effects and am I explaining about your level no and yet school near ko ye church man will be at here and celebrities are small person can specifically no Halifax yen kan okre and Crawford he is celebrating wo krom ha. If you take 10, I per my conversation with people, 8 of them were not born to be celebrated. Obia sorry our story be associated to the offense. Miss V asema ka interview ni o so fifi ananya sa ofifie no be so betene fie we say e kana hye Osha enkrofo dodo na ye sell footballers, musicians, obia story na nya obia ye titi ni wo fie o ye na adwin say I'm studying music to become a rapper. But they were drop out. They went through challenges and they found themselves in the music land. So there is a space that have not been occupied in their life. Your musicians will kromu ha. Omu ni momo papa no. What does it? So oba interview near starting komodi. So how was your growth like? Share your growth with us. Say with your host meboa. And you be asem. And in which home did you grow? Who is your father? How mama and why and that? And also me no papa the age na you Jamestown. But the father say me start abrabo, then they cut you off from the place. If you insist to push, the person will become depressed because it's a no-go area you treaty here. Your musicians will instead of their father's name. So they have a story to tell. All of a sudden they think that riches can cover your depression. No.
Enti o patre say ebia o background nhyɛ da nye ade ye ni ginsem na ene wa ba banyin we celebrity wo nya sika ni fame and to mean cover or past vacuum.
Never, especially when it comes to the family tree.
Look what you are sure, pa.
Halifax.
Na dear chairman ran with family who bang. Yeah, me papa married 9 women, 2 died. I didn't even know my father well. But today, me my baba yen nepa from ya see my seal being time and yami seekers see me fee enemy car enemy workers. I don't na say min kai dear see and ra name say me ni je ene.
If he say a dear be a living thing. And a dear be a what and qua a tiasino. Yes, you share nechi.
Okay.
And you know the you are living on a time bomb. Time bomb you can't say. He said, I remember nobody should go there. And he said, "Obobola e kurowa na enim, obi enim. Obi a obobola ti born na ye born na aji fio no ka bote. She ni fly ye kuro ho ntinu. Ye bom your screaming becomes different, your anger becomes something. There be many obi ti say Shatawale ye fatum. O say na Shatawale ti. Obi Shatawale naturally he was growing with an extra size of mouth per his body. Mufiamoli, Shatawale wale na Buddha. Now, you have people who when they are growing, and they born Abu Dachong, meaning Nabu ne, Nabu Agbo, Nakoto Nabu, the Ganland. This is how we do it. The first thing they will tell you is that your mouth is big. That is what they see as a deformity on you. Now, so people are living in an environment where this is what they tell them. When they become what they are supposed to be, they are expecting that nobody now can tell me my mouth is big.
Because now I'm a somebody.
Thank you. Then all of a sudden, the person they trust and believe in opens their mouth and say, "Hey, bohu, nani mo kwe, me aka wuyi bo show na Buddha. Kwe no ke show na." So the anger at the moment will not be the anger as a result of the Nipane canon, but there's a presbyter. So something presbytated it and was not treated. This is the problem we're having with our celebrities in this country. The funny face, all the people you see, the Papi Kojo, the Lord Kenyes, all the people, all the musicians have their problem. Kwabna, all of them have it. So they need to have people to manage them psychologically. So they will have the rich home to share their past, cry, live. We call it living the past in cognitive theophotic therapy. It's a therapy.
I see what you mean.
You can say theophotic therapy. It is a kwambia you know trans ye counselor mawa. Halifax ye mawo ko onkwale brem ade asimu. Emma will leave it ye pushu Emma will leave it. Socrates boy bi ode ne nam. Or yeah another one be omo type no ye no. But we find it theophotic therapy. And the original one. Ne boy ne dia ne ye ba ne dia ne surface. When Emma will leave it the life at 2 years. Walking to school barefooted, going through a process where your stepmother didn't give you food, and you went to eat late and slept and had stomach ache, will make you live the past, cry the past, break down. There are people who can break down, they can't even drive back home. Out of that one, we bring you to see whose fault was it. And you're from so. Then a buy. Then we take you through your temperament profile. You cry your temperament test amount. Temperament and your temper. Halifax. I'm a temperament therapist. Temperament in your temper.
Difference,
the difference is that your temper is not your temperament, because temperament is the innate behavior of an individual. You have 5 temperaments: the sanguine, the melancholy, the choleric, the phlegmatic, and the supine.
Supine mo hudro.
Yeah, enum.
Okay. Hold on. Temperament is not. Temper. And see, that is temperament. Subine, not temper and so.
Temper, yeah. Temper, yes.
Temperament, na
temperament, yeah. Usubaya,
okay.
Yenshia, yeah, the wo.
Okay.
Temperament, yeah, the wo. And your genetic, and your papa, dear Naufa. But your case temper, a son, wakuma, eba. Ana, I want tears, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to come to the level say when the way you exhibit your anger is temper.
So before ana die ebe to me a share we before no Send a woman managing
your emotions.
No, it's not your emotions. Anger is not emotion. No.
Temper is not always about anger.
No, the anger, temper
is not always about anger.
By what? By what?
Your emotions.
No, emotions are temperament.
No.
Baby, wait, yes, you are the extra there.
Yeah, the ebufu bano, and no antimidi and jiba.
Thank you. And then emotions. Professionally, and no emotions. What I say? Me da say the class student just agreed to the headmaster. So me too ankomodie so.
Yes. So basically, the dictionary says that temper is a person's state of mind seen in terms of their being angry or calm.
Thank you.
Good.
Either angry or calm.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's not emotion.
Okay.
I'm right.
No, you are wrong.
Oh, in my video coin.
That's wrong student in class. Teacher is talking. Thank you very much, Gogolo. So Gogolo just told you what you just read.
Okay.
But the can say emotions, any temper, temperament, your innate being. Send your ball. Send the ball is just like your DNA. And you pepe. It is so because obi to move from them. Ebufone ba na no temperament. And the answer na be ni mo bi temperament no. Just say we the nipa no aye test na man ahu say what is your temperament profile in terms
into me bow me wo fie me be the 17 18 na my school kakra e people me yesofo me so me to me google na me sua about so I was sanguine melancholy na my friend me ba na me na akosa process I would
no way
na say my kind of google
who kind of google they all google find learn behavior
na say me yesofo
the boy oh na so nti ade
na say okay because me your teacher me your church
oh na church say dey unsu say be dey unsu article 1740 clause 18 say man kusua
in teacher say
the lawyer quote you have to learn them. That is their work.
Yes, our temperament
temperament therapist
and living the past so no
yes to foster and cognitive temperament and you know tenacia and that is why I tell people that if you walk to me for counseling and you say I'm blowing my horn, but if you walk to me for professional counseling, it's different from church counseling. For example, Halifax obewale na odi obi ya abase mbewale na asori bisa say have you had sex before mo ye mpema groda na mo say ania asori ni ehwehwe bone e wo mpema groda mo ye amwale ye ba me oba me honam say why mpema groda say ani how did it go? Oh, it went well. Me bisa asori ni hwan
about different counselor asori bre wo ho a wo ko catch mo during counseling say o me me fiancé no ye dim mpema groa ombema wa kwakotena asori na chi. Sometimes they will sack you from
they
the
give
church.
You a black church and we a primitive weakness in dogma. Any church quote me everywhere counselor to any church that tells people say mama ye boni wa konyi mo bi anya ho ade enti ye ma akonyo tutuba transfer na yira. It's a cult and not a church.
And it's a difference. So I'm going to say the church looks for sin.
And the sin they look for is a dogma so that you will follow their rules of engagement. Not the rules of life.
Oh.
There are two things. Even in law, we have legal practice and we have legal law. And we have the doctrine for the church. And you have the dogma for the church. Dogma ni ye ajatum say the person e tena to say call to fellowship. And to say ye no. And to balance what having sexual intercourse before. Now all mature they are calling dogma no.
Okay.
But omo fi the social stigma mi wa kolebia or kwa sorry you when beni oh obi ya ben girl now onyem ye na ye born sen akola ni
okay.
In the church.
So what is the difference between what they do and then what you also do when a couple come and say we are about to get married? Always time say, have you been bunking? They say, oh well, once in a while.
We don't even ask, have you? I don't need the two of them because until you are married, the two of you cannot walk to my office. That's the thing. The game is that obi ya person ni Halifax wale. So your friend pre-marital counseling. Pre-marital counseling enye obi ya ni Halifax on beso mo wale mba me ho because mo wale so I can't treat the two of you as two. There are things I want to hear from you that obi ya shouldn't know till she dies. So maybe say Halifax, have you had sex before? Or say I, how did it go? Who shall say him? Then a buy now what person here. So that attitude now when pema grow no expectation and I'm be cancel as compared to the church I was saying. And to be about me also have sex there family. Also what have it that mean the man. And the best make the difference I can say professional counseling now say one crofo and crofo adwene say the obi catch me say who ko catch wasem kira sofo ade kye a odi be preach. Funny face asemi buy unti say sofo prophet then Elisha or say
o see obebodam
the oka che vigizuga so odi obi kunu atwe mpra na say okay be see any vigizuga enti say wale menka say prophet ni twantro but nyama ya Canada say funny face is going through a phase of a particular mental disorder yanka so abodam you see your mental disorder face mu a ohia moa and na de okay ensisi so.
Okay, counselor, let's come back to where I started from. Inti you are saying say bia me name batifie and I bia me have a child who is going into music, acting, filmmaking, whatever. Me who clear sa kwadai okọ depression mo. Was it semi ko boss of one mania? Someone bomb permanent wrong decision.
Yes. Look,
what if the depression is spiritually caused? Says
sorry.
I mean, I could feel free. I mean, it's
true. Hey, depression cannot be spiritual.
Says who?
Says Counselor Lutrot. Quote me.
Me,
I'm responsible for my comment.
Taking your source from which authority?
From the DSM-4. DSM-4 is Diagnostic Statistical Manual. I'm talking about the 4 and 5.
Into depression.
Depression is a physical thing and not a spiritual thing.
Enye asori
enye susuma de asofo bibre are depressed. Hwe you asofo bibre wo kru no ha omo twese ye mbo hwese so omo njo yire no meja omo. They are depressed because of their wives. Make a tell. Enti asofo wo be preach and yire na kire ndi onka.
Lutrot, let me digress a bit. Miss VC time on call through depression, the fear and she became spiritual and took God more serious. And so became spiritual, took God more serious, and got cured of a depression. Why are you not recommending the same thing?
I watched the interview with Miss V and Delay. She's not cured.
Are you saying? Are you insinuating Miss V is still depressed?
Yes.
Why do you say so?
She's still depressed.
I don't know.
Because depression is not curable; it's managed.
Okay, managing
money who say when I may
beautiful
and the triggers will come but she will not escalate.
Say managing and now what started say on story now sorry so managing no
sorry gives you false hope.
And are you saying she can't see any difference?
No, there's no difference in coming home. Miss B came earlier say we janyum and then you no
them
is she still doing music?
Was started being was here niji na ba nti afedie.
I mean, so why is she going to do different from what she was doing under depression? She broke bands from the house. An indisciplined behavior that she should be disciplined. What the game has here? Does it mean when you leave home and go and survive and come regardless of that is what is happening to Funny Face? Once you break bands, I say what trania tito. Now what done obi nipa pombi anam kan say. I say for a nanny and Johnson for discipline. O step mother nti odwane fifie, o step father nti odwane fifie. Now koye papa at the bar. Does it mean you are better? You are not. You are still having a deficit in your system. Childhood deficiency no. Eti the no waka say if you aboa yes if you between aboa penny life and na me say but it I say last time me share say if only delay here interview no I've watched it several times. She is still going through depression even in the answers.
Then na wo hu fa ne hu ana then no kan ye ma wo gidi say wo hu symptoms of depression or Miss V answers no.
When you are treated properly
say almost
year ana ye show ye ne you fi ade no ye manage you asem na ye kan na wusu no ye kan se sia wunsu.
Oh really?
Yeah, we call it total recovery. You're finding total recovery in professional counseling. Some time ago you can ubesu You can't just say what no appetition. You can't just say what you want. What the game no? But you treat it under no circumstance you can break it down.
Until you felt she still broke down, or
she needs to seek for professional counseling if she wants to go ahead. Otherwise, they see and your boss she guru yeah guru. Guru is not recovered. He needs serious counseling.
I didn't see her.
Because maybe one abrabo mo say ya boano na or really live it into fostic.
Mukra enyesa mu stretching nyama from your imagination, mu stretching nyama say obi say me I don't like you to defame demean my brand and tell me I am down. Mu see nipa no recover. I mean I can't.
But you shouldn't tell you are down. You should all say you are up.
Well,
but don't you see you are down? Are you using my eyes?
We have different points of view.
So I am seeing you down.
No, see on your down. Say what can I say now? I may take you offense. Who's in the panel is something.
You are taking offense for me saying you are down. If you think you are up, keep standing. I say you are down. But because there's a problem, I'm speaking some truth. It's true, I am down. So if you don't go for treatment, you will always disgrace yourself in public. I'm saying it's a funny face problem started in this studio here with Baba Spirit.
Really?
Baba Spirit and Abeku Santana. I was not in the studio. I was listening on radio and I drove here. Or catch and say, "Maybe in your baby idea." Jimmy sa pa. The show went bad. Me Jimmy. You from me humor therapist. What's up, Jimmy? Da. Say no, Jimmy. Media me suadia. Media me a brand. Media me a president of the children. Me Jimmy. Me a humor therapist. And it became a whole fight in the studio here. Then I made a statement. I came and I drove here. Said this young man needs help because he thinks he should be somewhere and he's not getting there. He is trying to mourn a loss. You've probably been grieving the loss. How to mourn loss. Depression is part of it. Living in a state of denial, believing that and see that and then they come to the terms of acceptance. Acceptance in the problem among most of the musicians. And you may say, Bema, there are a lot of examples of celebrities in this country who are going through depression and they are writing songs of depression for us and we are playing it. I'm telling you, they write songs of depression and we interview, they have nothing to say. And Halifax, depression offices, AC, human resources, despite a company. There's a human resource director. Now let's go and check how many human resource companies, including even where I work, that you have counselors or psychologists managing the place. When they are giving you a query, this morning I came to Despite. When I came to the front desk here. Immediately when I entered the machine, it's a the chlorine be dware wono. Me say this thing can cause depression. Yes,
I didn't see. You prevent COVID. Say, I mean, company I use the card. Fidie biaka kosi wa fidie na be check with temperature. No, the corona dry na. And no, so
the best way is that somebody must stand at the entrance and inform whoever is entering. Psychologically, a melancholy will enter and can break down emotionally. So there are so many things.
And then so me call any of the banks, right? And on with this tell me I checking me temperature. Breaking me down.
So I went to one of the banks.
And breaking me down.
It's the same thing. Look, now you go to places and there are security men who are supposed to just direct your car. Now they tell you this is your temperature. I went to the mall. And I udu more once why a line here. And security man now check temperature. Uduwa. Not the real not to any so. In the quest to look for your forehead. And I'm catching and say, this thing is not right. Either you take the side because the temperature gun can take from the side or the hand. Hey, then you enter the mall. And me kind of friend the boss or didn't motola friend giddy.
Lutrot, you have a way of going round.
No, I'm answering the question for you to know how.
I mean,
no, we are using depressed people to check people's temperature. And I'm
because there was here, for instance, I mean, name Papa no ding, but Monday or directing me send I mean corner. For say
thank you. So and I make catch now say you get there, there should be somebody there to take you through.
That's all be
so if you leave it, assuming so be anymore, people will be depressed, and at the end of the day, you can get a casualty out of it.
Yo, gradually,
no, am I depressed? Ghana hired the people by a pedestrian crossing. You press and it gives you access to wait 10 minutes and controls the traffic light. Who's said it say? Because nobody was educated.
Look rot.
So depression is a common thing.
So what can to say it be a nepa no background ni upbringing vacuum be a one abra bomo on one complexities either inferiority or superiority ne cause but couldn't just be say celebrities na ya depressed.
Yes,
the expectations we place on them, the type of things we write about them, and also
who is a celebrity? Anybody who is celebrated in the town they live, we're celebrating you. Counseling had nothing associated with celebration, but counselor is a celebrated counselor.
Nikrebi musi a professional counselor the say on kasa say on kawa tum na you should I mean
but only say you buy radio so you counsel on radio so you can't counsel on radio on TV because the process even the sitting posture in my office we've not gotten it so
David almost counselor the say member counseling on radio so men kasa kawa tum net na office
and no put the NC I said, me kasa krama loto na mankrofoti momudi. Ti pesa mchen se ti. Halifax. Ya mankrofo bebre wa. We make them celebrities not because they were born celebrities, but because they have been celebrated because of what they do. But what they do, we don't know. That's the secret. Halifax what trying to pay. Who catch and say, "Unumu this way." Now air hot into a clear throat, and to behavior be this way behavior.
Okay.
What does here now? Recently, and the dogs in your guest, you want the story. God, it's not are you okay? God didn't answer and and the dusty lose you, and the dusty is depressed. Make my casa.
And see what me.
He's going through mental disorder.
We are human beings, okay?
Good.
Once in a while, everybody gets angry.
Thanll you.
And see, so once in a while, be getting angry, and you are depressed.
So in the first place, the entire essay Halifax, you should get angry behind the console. But you will not be able to do it. They are hosting a program that you know by 12 o'clock is ended. So you bottle your anger, turn it upside down and finish the show.
Okay, beautiful.
So we are celebrating. Yeah, Gigi also celebrity. Yeah, shower chalo ye big. And let me make example say, Obi Abin say, "Oh, tunyum odo chemne kakra." I mean, Obi Abin say, "What's out to odo you know how to love." So the public is expecting love from you. There is a video from Medical. I don't say when one boys need besides. Have you seen it? Why do you do that to people? No, he's telling them the truth. But the people believe that once you meet a celebrity like Medical, it should spread money. So the expectation from us to those who are celebrated also leads them to a form of depression.
What is the way forward? What is the solution? Because the first, say about 1, 2, 3, 4 funny things. Then your managers pay calls, judge see uncle for 2 weeks psychiatric checking or treatments or whatever.
No, we should go in the law. When people come and their answers doesn't seem okay for you.
So on back what's
na 70 years. Who can say ubisa for psychological or psychiatric evaluation. Ebin see funny face in go na no post be say I'm nowhere, I'm in my house. Obi kasi engine into. Ye cry any baby I didn't beto. But or any evaluation never report embre judge no. What must say? It's part of the management of the TNT. Ni kase never said yo no. Na ni da ho ana adwimo yare. Enti na funny face e kom no. What is the way forward? The first way forward is that every individual must seek for personal help.
Obian ko hwehwe mboaye.
Emwa no ho.
Emmo no ane ho. Yen ko hwehwe wo he. Ye ko asere wo si asere ni bue. Ye say wo si bue. Yen ko hwehwe wo he.
Professional counseling. So that you do see wo ho.
Mo wan ho.
Me wo ho. Me mbo bi di minimidin. E na minim de betima ye. Ye bua nipa ma na discover ne ho. because you can only discover to recover. You be born away expedition to the family's kingdom. Adie bia we busua ni ma da chi bia ba out a be hit no ye boa. Abrantie we otu nyum ye friend say. Ye ne tena ha last time. Sisi Lamafo victim first one, friend say. Brother Sammy.
They see anti se ko born as no.
Deliverance no. Brother Sammy. Last time Oba hire interview. And they be say question be. And he shelved the question. And I'm catch and say, question ya be say wa jump ya one answer no. Braniam boy near sorting it out. No dey one day. Baby say obi na one answer no. E be escalate am why worried. Untie. Last time you tell say me boss. Me share na me boss. Don't believe say adie say we solve it from stage 1 solve it. Now be bigger personal. It can be solved. No, seek for personal help.
Lutfrot, let me ask a layman's question. The okay and ya bro for so buy. Say my ninja na my spirit will lower. It's necessary say where did now where does that's na our story ko school abana. Me san ko cancel into ya ka say say na ye den. Me na no more lived with it say.
Okay. Remember? Who bodam?
And you be an bodam.
Baby bodam.
Baby musum bodam.
Dudu na e kuruma bodam. One accident e koso no. Abodam for doso. Maka chem say commercial drivers be brain no omu koso accident no. Because of mental disorder. Driver not steering echi no hwe. Ohun ne ho. Oniba, onire. It's not answerable to anybody in life. I have made it by myself, so I want to survive by myself.
Nti wo sisupim say e ho hia treatment ni counseling no ho hia.
Go and discover yourself to recover. Kona want to mean pour out your total life upbringing first and foremost to a professional. Number 2, let's rise up and stop zookeeping and poultry farming. And do parenting.
The zookeeping and poultry farming. We should stop rearing the children. And train them.
Who say abomo try kabobo try botwe omutibia. They have nobody at all in their life that they can ever refer to. Their father cannot talk, their mother cannot talk, but who are you?
Whose duty when you must say or initiate steps to seeking treatment me or artist me managing me manager no me duty is it the duty of the parents and my wife in court is it whose duty is it to make sure say to initiate this treatment seeking okay?
The first thing is that individual na need dealing no need dealing as what? A worker or an individual. So what the war before bekasa upe juma poyen one kasa make a decision to seek to discover yourself so you can recover. And you know what also responsibility. Then mimi baram be manage you as an artist. Your psychic is very important to me. But Ghana Halifax obi manage artist. Now what ye egu ye free artist manager ye beside say I hear your artist has a marital challenge. Or say, I manage the artist, but me manage the relationship. Can you imagine? Artist manager. Who is supposed to manage the emotion, the psychological, the physical being of the artist? Artists no go through marital issues. Your friend Bisano say, me, I only manage my artists. I don't go beyond. His marital issues are not part of my own. Because the artist ni go stage or your concussion money no vodka, blue jeans, akpeteshin, send a bay hyper. It was stage. What was it? Stage to perform. So they just want to use you, and if you change from who you are through psychology, problem.
Okay, in case you're just tuning in, okay, 101.7 FM. Juma, the end of the best entertainment show. Me resource person and me panel member and a counselor Lutrot. Yeah, discuss depression. in general, specifically among celebrities, people in the entertainment sphere. Say a yard or so. To forward you now, like I say, oh, now I was depressed. Oh, now me caught through depression. Oh, now me yes say na enchevi ya in your funny face. Waka several times say depression, hano, depression, hano, depression, hano. Yeah, the diagro. I say, oh, pay attention. And DSC see it. Imagine say opuli gunway by mistake. Trigger no call off and okobubi. Would we have been discussing this issue in the same context? Police for in our courts. Judge recommended psychiatric treatment for 2 weeks. That is what we were discussing back and forth. Lutrota Trenagin. The conclusion is that it is not only among celebrities, among pastors, politicians, media people, even day counselors. Now, obia here treatment. Now, treatment no any self treatment. Any idea we will feel. Say one professional. I have another problem in the studio. So, Chris Safo.
Yeah.
Safo. Let me say, your tea counts like a cry.
Yeah.
And you've also heard what is going on about depression back and forth. Would you want to ask him a question or share your own ideas?
Well, let me share
your own ideas.
Okay. Me raise a lot, Halifax, a lot of artists. I think say me show more me who miracle kwesi nyamiche. Say we raise a lot of artists. Salam. No, I will not say Salam will not be in that category in a way. Then I will say Mensuma raise a lot from the scratch. I'm telling you, say you can't about top artists, no. But one young ones never no. Almost anything top ones, no.
Almost anything in terms of what depression, no.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I'm speaking from experience because. Omo expectation bebre wo hot na TV hu no hu Jackie apia no hu Nadia no hu send your tie no ofuli se ono nso no opeso yete so no what you say enti no ni obeye bia no o mi ko hu producer we no akọ hu expectations no na ato afaso kakra then no akọ hu we na ato afaso kakra na fe no abetena se no odwen enti menye den enti sen na ese meye bebre o ha ebeka se enoma deda ne niema nyina. I'm telling you 99% is based on that stage, you know, because why so frustrated okoda or not also TV no who stay do ho and I say already bibi or social media no who obi aye budget ne so a ono so feel say see your budget ne so sa. They go through a lot. I've had the occasion to even sit with some of them in my office. What two of them
na omwa woni omwa tnasi abon komo no omu see den na push you into such a situation.
Halifax.
Yeah.
Senkaya dia me menye professional your friend say
counselor to say little but I mean the omu catcher will say so suffer this is what omu see den na omu how den na how
they want to be on top. They see themselves to be good stars. What am I saying? I don't know if I should mention him. Obaku Omwa. Me mane me BA. And your friend say
BA down for BA, okay.
Yes. Your friend because Ocean performance ne niama na ye kakra ne BA Kumasi shop no. And your catch one day a friend catch and say onim Kumasi shop na kotena o. O si okofi osun sa.
Osun se mo si on kotena shop ano.
E wo Kumasi. Waba ofri north and oba so oba be active. No abetena hanse be ye 1 year na echire yen kan kire ne se onko Kumasi nkotena shop ano okoko sun ya ne sister kasa ya otwa no so de mamenko se metena kra sa de okoe kakra. I'm telling you say out of shop now we be in one shop no kotena no and no see fie mienu out of it.
Okay, but initially mo country no say
yes,
don't be a screen person.
Yes.
Because there's not on. Okay.
Yeah, but you see, baby, I'm pointing to say in the confession your mom and in between that time no one. I did a course with the tribunal. Na easy. At that point, we say no here obi obe psychologist be amana any nakasa. But we also didn't do it well.
Thank you. I like your honesty.
We didn't do it well.
You didn't lead the person to the right place. That's the problem. Doctors are doing it. Pastors are doing it. Directors are doing it.
me wo obaako bi a me ka kire ne say onko sua bi foforo ono no de meto me bo ase ene ne kasaye it go through the process me mane koye bi foforo otimi damase da bia. I have a lot of them who are not even acting. They came for acting. But omo ye bi foforo omo timi frɛ me damase. Because I realize that it's one of the challenges. Obi only what it takes to even be in the field. But omo basa na opeso ye one two boase ene na nkasa. Masa ebi betimi kom who I'm telling you. That stage of the crave to be a star and easy. Into some of them too when they get to the top no more back for more and also easy Halifax.
That is when so catch on say we say that we need top view mpe ne bobefo.
Chale.
Halifax Enra and so on social media. A few I don't know whatever she was doing. Then they put a guy on camera with her. Tell them, I'm going to renovate your house, change your tile, change the lighting for you. Meaning the back row. Hey. On social media.
I see.
Now, that small thing that happened. Sadia Ketwa they see, you know. A man who said there's a particular image if your daughter wants to paint to be accepted. So she's going through a phase of bargaining with, like, who say, you'll be a friend grieving the loss.
Obi or ni kakra of a so bien so will be no so you found home.
I want to belong.
That's all be so I belong that answer.
I want to belong to a class.
She belongs there.
No, she doesn't. Efia is not there. The process to where most of your people are. That is why most of the born ones cannot even marry again. The challenge we have is that people to say Halifax, my friend said Socrates, any penny for their problem in Ghana is recommendation. Me, where I sit, I work with doctors, I work with pastors, I work with fetish priests. Their cases be about me a legal case. I'm a refer. But nipa da se ne dwen say on person be refer bo bia onwa eye bibia manager nti onwa there's something we need to learn to refer people.
In common I de
I had the more ya ase
ye penning me penning no back home. Me boss.
One of the richest.
All the Spice Media no the I nearly said best entertainment. Can you imagine? Alright, Kwesi Abuaji, host of the entertainment review on Peace 104.3 FM. Or see, me trying to tell them, I can say Kwesi Abuaji, despite media.
Yanko.
Right, Kwesi.
Metie penny for me and kakra. I mean, in France, counselor dear or no a professional. But not so critical, and I thought I was getting confused with some of the things that are so critical. But metie counselor, and I think it's on the same path, and this is my confusion. I'm sure say be a binumusu sa no ekwakoyom. You see, akwakoy to say Ghana hanum say. Unse unya fever, headache. You easily do na ni say unya malaria. We are malaria, we have fever this. But you see, that's the symptoms of a lot of yadia wo yehun. A bit me about even if someone is beginning to get, let's say, kidney failure, you can even get some of these things. If you say, oh, malaria fever, but and yet malaria na unya. I did not listen to definition of cancer at the mind in terms of depression. But a quack me say, and your money be crampo when, let's say, okay, we to say, yeah, you di about 14 years. I mean, cast across ages. Nyom friend Abia, and okay, about 40, identity crisis. Maybe one vacuum is going through. Meaning, I don't see a depression, form of depression.
It's managing a loss. I mean, managing a grief loss.
Yes.
40, what have I gained? What did I get? Sorry. I said 40 years. You will be a friend of managing the loss. And 40, what have I get? Then I mean, I could say, imagine, I mean, they call university. You're 40. Let's see the few.
Meaning set is any okano. Any chichima to say examples na be an associate man even counselor no. To say any example my typically about a fieldo. So it means that if fieldo is doing that, I want to belong. Depression yes. You understand? Yes. Some of the examples that are coming up, I'm asking myself, say, until
we see a depression.
Where depression because otherwise
And it's not the sound say, Enya abrofo so I mean, they are confusing.
No, I know the Halifax. Before back, I say depression. On my Nankasa as a country, is depressed.
Yes, because you see, depression.
But it's because you see, the fact Sebio's lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge, my people perish.
Yes. I don't just say unim sanim diano. I know it's okay. I didn't know what I'm saying. And when we say yes, depression, no dear. On my Nankasa because on my out that's why no pipe say be a pipe. You are expecting a pipe no should flow. Will be a pipe no. But
Sabusum no.
No, you became.
But Sabusum no one with the bill now.
Yes. Can you imagine so the Diana say microwave, who pentem but the lights will go off. You become depressed. So a whole lot of things. You might be bria. Your family am I depressed as a minor, but I don't just say yes, depression in what I'm saying. And now say near maybe I come and not just say we are depressed. There are a lot of, but you see who's so far brochure. They are designated house and if I say to say hospital and clinics. Inti omo be on for rehab centers. Yes. But who's a Ghana unfortunately and until say the Okasa de Halifax. And the name called Asalama. Halifax for because I can say Halifax why depressed. We should take you to Asalam.
I'm back and say my
but you see yes uncle. That is why that's why a lot of people don't want to go. But suppose in some cases specialized rehab centers are befitting the status of the stars or celebrities because chairman on here. That is why they don't want to go. But they go because rehab near the corner. It is a place of
dignity.
Exactly. But any side no.
Ewo here from Lutrot.
Rehab
center. You want drug rehab center.
On his side, let's face facts. Ola Michael Tra movie B, maybe a fee movie no title. Sometimes say Madhouse. At least it gave us an impression of what I said.
No, the picture I painted is not what is in the sack.
Okay, say who send no more address, no more number one thing.
No, let's be fair. Let's be fair to the film. Say Okasa because he went to
inside
and he went to psychiatric hospital Asalam to say and yes sir I've never seen me who say Omaba out
institution any pump say
because let's be fair
the summary is that the summary of what Kwesi Abaji is saying is that the state of psychiatric centers is not befitting.
No, what do you call befitting? One, you should call it's not just even your hospital, is it befitting?
We will come to the hospitals. Let us limit my engine psychiatric hospitals. Are you okay with the states?
No, it depends on what you want to see. I mean,
what I want in the yardstick says, there is a multi-billionaire who is depressed.
Yes.
Because of the way our facilities he will be okay there. But so what can't a millionaire be all driving in Rolls Royce say on got Salem traffic lights not 2 weeks, Masa.
Okay, so
Kolebu rehab no account. So Kolebu is one of our leading hospitals.
Yes.
Odiopa, bless there near na young Koniam. What is the state of the rehab center?
The rehab center is in one of small area. You cut it short. Let's say 10 years now. We see them from years here.
Now you're okay now. Okay, Master summarize my
the state of your psychiatric centers now. Because somebody can be. Yeah, because of become mental hospital, it becomes a social stigma.
In Halifax,
is the reason is because you can't say funny face in Kobia Fremia. It's funny face in Kobia for no. We have clinics that run just to manage people's psychic, not because they are mad, but it's lack of education from where we are. So I could say, but you cannot go to a facility to access us. What do you say? It's the essence. Say, Obi, I don't touch man. Or who can so call Salam and you say, "Go down for no." But you
see, that brings me to my challenge in terms of game. Say, I mean, at what Councillor Mboyeng, let's define define properly for us what depression is. So that me depressor. Now, I want to even seek a counselor. Someone will not tag me as my bodam.
Thank you.
That is what I want to see. I mean, of course, ABI, you've crossed 45. You've not finished your house. 15 years, you are going on pension. Your children are growing. Getting anxious is normal.
Thank you.
And also your depression.
Anxiety is part of what we call grieving the loss. So in workplaces, Obiba a retirement, you're retirement counseling. me can't show me so. Majority of the civil servants or ne retirement benefit or the company down so. Roofing or the coyer roofing.
At the age of 60?
I'm telling you. And maybe a Danny walk crab or the call. Started Dana check. And the Danny design and Casano.
I come at 7 minutes and say in the question and say at what points do we see that this one dear depressed, this one they normal anxiety, this one they normal disappointment, this one they
and we a mental disorder.
So nobody can diagnose you have a mental deficiency. I'm friends about them. But mental disorder, depression, which is the fourth stage of grieving the loss, a part of the mental disorders. But under the classical conditions, this will be any what transfer will say, what dear we know, a bro so yes,
because obisa send the messages here. In fact, for we now fan can't go see no or see or no or to me depressed na adani say high fever.
Yes.
And Timisa said no so a dambo and depression.
Papi Gojobo son friend no. They delayed or see he became addicted to sexual intercourse and weed. So that's what I say. A mood swing. Obi one in it or you cool. All of a sudden, what caught beyond, and now I am more cooler. That's why we say you go and speak to the experts.
Still, me. So I want him to define, because you see, who said this word I've heard, especially you saw Ghana, I'm depressed. I'm going through depression. So me say, what is depression? At what point do I know say I'm even depressed?
I had a certain madam, and then I also died. When she got up, she was traumatized and depressed. I was like, now when him die, I also mind way
so depression become a simple understanding.
Okay.
Anger turned upside down. Something is a feeling in your system to express something out that nobody else understands. But me say under the DSM-4, we can only diagnose you when you get closer. Like you gave an example. Who say malaria? Obinya fever no, or see wanya malaria. But you can fever in clinical terms, temperature. What was it? And obinya fever, temperature there. Obi wet menya stomach ache, obinya temperature. Obi menya shock, obinya temperature. But obianya or see menya malaria. So me say until we know say when you malaria, unless you meet the expert to tell you. So depression so can people are depressed because their mood has been affected. Okay. Their biological syndrome has been affected in terms of their thinking pattern and orientation. What was it?
And so part say unless the panoba mumu on to me who say
yes, and obi oye jumanu who obi oye sa me ti o se no be here there. I can assume say per this ABC the person is going through this level and needs the help. And I make and say, what do you mean by because there are radio presenters who sit on drive time and they are talking, you can see they are depressed. So they open the phone lines and you say something, you can have a host who didn't hear interview. As an example, then I've met a lot of depressed hosts. They get angry. I've even got a host who told the owner of the radio station that say counselor and everybody may judge one.
And your host, me so me panel members be so I can say I'm buying to your car for 4 years. I know my boy.
They are some of the secret. Here counseling
because they pay a delay.
No, he's living as if it's okay, but it's not okay. So it's living a pretentious behavior.
No, depression.
It's anger turned upside down. I want to do it, I can't do it.
No, Obi salary I came 4 years. I wish you were depressed. I mean, you see, this is where Kwesi Abaji came and said, Master, Bibia musi depression. So I've told you. So with salary I came when you mentally be
careful. There's anger turned upside down. You don't have to do it. And your anger turned upside down. So when you go to grieving the loss, the first stage of grieving the loss before going to acceptance is depression. You are finally depressed.
Depression is a normal part of life.
No, it's not a normal part of life. It is one of the mental disorders associated with life.
You've not answered this question because
that is what he said.
Because brophobia become the gravity like depression.
Okay. I was in Germany, Berlin. And your number state I said Red Cross for 10 BCO. At the end of Mujina, Urba near Chon. No more the Ibia was there. No more check. At the end, you see a check stress level. Now, you're almost checking a level beer. Near more tent anymore. Near take records. Ombeba fear no abetna say, I hear yes, I man. Mono, at the end of the check.
When himself can't stress a crowd upon Makai say. Ebia, Niman be break cause maybe cry stress.
Yes. Stress.
Maybe no me.
Right, we say every cry on here.
What is stress? Stress is the wear and tear of life. It means that as you go through life, you go through stress, and within the stress, you can have one of the mental disorders, which is depression. So in your stress, you can be depressed. What is
there's no stress, there's no depression?
Yes, they are not the same.
And because cry now, the stress no go through. But most are not see my depressed.
So no, but so when the stress grows up, the outlet
anyway, for my point, my final question, counselor.
Yeah.
Me. Say me was a car. Assume me mood.
Thank you.
Say mu yensua.
Thank you.
Assume and you depression na.
See, who was a mood?
Na me near giraffe.
Thank you. It's a me JB or where bro soa. It could go into part of the mental disorder.
Enti stress say me ni sika an manage wo for my no so
it's a loss.
disorder.
You grieving a loss.
Nti no so depression no.
Somebody loses the mobile phone and they become depressed.
Enti say yemba mo office mbe hwehwe mo.
And yes, I will buy your office. One can say you begin to manage yourself. Ebusunfo hwese na nipa ne tie wo fie. All of a sudden in nyama nyina asesa.
Solution ni say me ni sika. Omu be hwe ma adwumi den say mu ntua me sika. Yanko. Sika sani ayo.
There be say what bro you broke. Who ni sika? Precipitating your depression. We will diagnose it and find it for you so that we find ways of getting money for you, getting yourself money. So we don't tell you it's the end of the life. We want you to more police people are committing suicide. A lot, even in workplaces, people are being laid off and they're losing their social potency. People are married. A lot of things are causing people to be depressed. I meet a man who says, I can't perform in bed with my wife. But when I go and meet a side chick, bam, the erection is up there.
And you can cure all these things?
Why can't you? Because it's a simple thing. It's not your wife, it's not a witch. But if you lie behind your wife and you can't erect, you are depressed because there is an expectation that you can meet. Actually, this mental disorder thing.
Anyway,
you need time.
Yemre. Into Lutro, Sana, what kind of day? Honestly, this is one of the few days I met this with Bracy, Unama Eden, someone show.
Edding 0277 609 644. Socrates has nothing to offer.
0277 609
644. And the Ginger is still alive.
It is one topic I've not been able to fully exhaust the topic. My resource person, Lutrod, has spoken extensively. Safon Swatre and Adrian said, look, many of the celebrities in musicians say, mono, especially the up and coming ones, or much signs of depression.
Lawyer Tiki has sent a message or say, pocket depression. To say, what do you say? No, it's Momo. The solution is Momo. Once someone tell you that,
but the guy said, if you say Momo to the guy to depression, he will constantly be depressed for Momo.
But I'm not shy to say it on radio. So in fact, me driving, I will cross him. But damn me, when you cross me, I'm like, look at this guy. He's not patient. Leave him to God.
So one of the weakness of the sanguine is that, and one of the weakness of the melancholy is the fear of economic failure. One day when we treat temperament profile here, you understand it. A lot of people are not going through just depression, but they are going through deficiency in temperament.
Callers, please listen to the number and stop asking me to repeat it.
0277
0277
609 644 0277 609 644. The Yankai said, upbringing of our children have a bigger effect on them when they grow to become depressed or emotionally balanced.
And then you for Madam I say, Chrissy Awaji, we call on the show no swatch. Charlie Saturday, I got a galam sale. I want to meet your feast. Sometimes I'm driving and listen. The other time I was listening, I was like, God, I missed this show. Guru versus Arnold. But it's also good I wasn't there, you know.
Depression. Guru is depressed.
And sometimes Safo versus Kwesi, and I'm like, when I wasn't a host, not mean to Kwesi.
But last week, Kwesi got depressed here. That's not your look at it.
Bra medase. Lutrot medase ene wo ginger no. Ni ginger no. E boa me papa. And say wo pa bia na wa frequency la the same na mo boy ya na wanya ni ginger ne ho ni bi. Ene kwesia sorry so Safo last week Wednesday pepe me no ko choba bi say e ko didi. Yes Safo yes.
Halifax.
Yes.
Obia
Yes. Obia and so she on say quite a different price or modi tongue, but the over sheep house had your lowest price in the whole country. In Sibodo reception, I say honoma na wabisa say she kwa Obia dianubi lowest price in the whole country. From my producer David Pablo, happy birthday to Emmanuel Emisa Shalom of Awoshi. God bless you, Emmanuel Emisa Shalom. Yamana Emre, yeah, copies 104.3 for the midday news. My lead producer has been Gloria Obia, assisted by David Pablo, DJ Toxic Nebo Minyum Nina Mami, under the executive production of Father Dr. Dixon. The pressure same way there, I'm sure we'll definitely visit it again. Stay out of trouble. I'm out of here.